Alright, what's going on guys? Gino checking back in for another video today, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys through my full day of eating now that I'm a couple of days out from my photo shoot. Now these are the last couple of days leading up to the shoot, so I'm doing everything in my power to lean out as maximally as I can before the actual carb loading process starts in order to fill out my frame and look the best for the shoot. I'm a big preacher of simplicity is key, so the meals that you're going to be seeing in this full day of eating just allow me to stick to the process, stay relatively full, of course not really satiated because I'm in a deficit, I'm trying to lose body fat, and just allow me to not constantly think about what foods I'm going to be eating for my next meal. Right, I have a certain meal plan scheduled in right here that I like to follow that gives me the best results. So in terms of my macros and calories, I'm currently eating 2400 calories. That's not a lot of calories for me personally, but it gets the job done. I've decreased my calories gradually throughout this cutting phase, and I'm now losing at a pretty steady rate on this amount of calories. I'm aiming for 275 grams of carbs, 190 grams of protein, and 60 grams of fat. I'm doing 3 to 4 or maybe tops 5 cardio sessions per week, and in those sessions I burn around 235 calories up to around 265, so it's not really that much. I take some walks outside as well, but my cardio isn't really that high. In terms of my deficit, I always like to have a mix between cardio and just pretty much eating less. That allows me to not have like severely poverty macros and allows me to not be in the gym for hours on end on a cardio machine. Because let's face it, it's not a lot of fun. So anyway, let's hop on to the first meal of the day. Alright guys, so here are the main ingredients to my breakfast bowl. I'm going to be adding 80 grams of cream of wheat, 30 grams of whey protein, 20 grams of raw cacao powder. Gonna mix that all in with hot water. I'm going to be adding 2 bananas, of course weigh them out. And then I'm adding 20 grams of peanut butter. Alright guys, it's around 9 AM right now, or 9:13, and it's time for the first meal of the day. Breakfast is all done, so it's time to have the first meal of the day. I literally look forward to this bowl of gains right here every single day. So what I'm then going to be adding to the bowl is some sea salt and a little bit of cinnamon, which gives it a lot more taste, even more taste. With that I have the legendary Nutella sandwich, which is just 2 slices of brown bread with 30 grams of Nutella, 1 cup of coffee to get caffeinated with some sweetener, and some water to get hydrated. Alright guys, I'm in the car right now, about to head to my physical therapist to just get a regular checkup. I go around every 6 or 8 weeks or so just to stay under maintenance. I currently don't have any aches or pains, but I used to have quite a lot of them, especially around my glute and lat area or my trap area. So headed to my bro Ruben right now, who is my PT if you have been watching the channel for a long while. And after that, it's time to do some cardio. Right guys, we are at the gym right now. Everything at the physical therapist went very well. Got some more material to work with, so it's time to do some cardio. Now that is all of the way, time for some food. I'm starving. Alright guys, I'm all freshened up right now and it's time for the second meal of the day, post cardio workout. So what I have right here is 1 piece of 85% dark chocolate, 2 rice cakes cracked up and mixed in with the 450 grams of Skyr vanilla flavor. Very delicious. And then beneath that I have 200 grams worth of mixed frozen berries. And then what you do to make the most out of this meal, you eat the dark chocolate and then you mix everything left in the bowl together and enjoy the meal. and of course have another coffee. It's a couple of hours later right now, and I actually went ahead and got a fresh little haircut right now. It's been a couple of hours since my last meal, so I'm going to be having my dinner now. I always like to keep my dinners very simple, which actually fills me up the most and I enjoy it the most as well. Most of the time it's always either potatoes or rice, a serving of chicken breast, and a source of either green vegetables or just any kind of vegetables in general. So this time it turned out to be green beans, but this could be broccoli, spinach, you name it, any kind of green vegetable. Simply because they're quite low in calories, they can be pretty high in fiber, and in terms of the volume that you're getting for the amount of calories, it's really filling. And that's especially what I'm looking for when I'm in deficit and trying to lose body fat. I'm on 2400 calories, that's pretty low for me, so anything that fills me up is the way to go. Alright, so especially when it comes to losing fat, like I said, I really like to have high voluminous foods, and that is what I recommend you to have as well. Especially if you struggle with having a lot of hunger, whatever time of the day that may be. It's really important to have a certain food selection that you know really fill you up, in contrast to the amount of calories that that food contains. So things as rice cakes, for example, is a perfect example of a food that is pretty low in calories. I'm talking like 20 or 30 calories per rice cake. It's like 7 or 8 grams of carbs or 10 grams of carbs per rice cake, depending on the size of the rice cake, which does fill up a lot of room in your stomach, which ultimately allows you to feel less hungry. Because let's be honest, one of the biggest downsides when it comes to cutting body fat is just dealing with the hunger. And there are multiple things that you can experiment with that can allow you to blunt your appetite or just feel a little bit fuller throughout the process. So things as intermittent fasting can help if you really have more hunger later on in the day, drinking coffee to suppress your appetite, having foods that are higher in volume and lower in calories, as I've just mentioned, and then eventually you will find your own preferred method of doing things, right? Intermittent fasting is not a necessity. It's not a necessity to eat rice cakes, for example. You need to find out what your preferred plan is when it comes to your nutrition. That allows you to stick to the process a lot better, which ultimately results in more or better results. So what I typically like to do as of late is just have an early breakfast, have my pre-workout meal a couple of hours after that, so I always train in the afternoon, then come back home from my workout, have my post-workout meal, which is always my kind of like dinner meal, and then finish off the macros with whatever macro that I have left, and just call it a day. I personally always have it that when I finish my macros at around like 7 p.m. or something, for some reason I just stop thinking about food. And even though that I finish my macros pretty early, well, like early in general standards, I don't really experience any hunger or something. I just cap the macros off in my head, like literally, and then shut down, get ready for sleep, and wake up the next day and have breakfast again. So anyway, it's time for the last meal of the day. And when I said that I like to have bigger meals in the beginning of the day, I was not kidding. So what I have right here is some protein sludge. Now this is only 55 grams of protein powder, and I added in 5 grams of walnuts, added some water, mixed it up, and you get the consistency of like a pudding or something, while it is just purely protein powder. Major dieting key, protein sludge. If you haven't tried it out yet, give it a shot and let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it, because I think that you most likely will. The things that we do when we're cutting, man. And that concludes a full day in my diet to get shredded for a photo shoot. I'll list the total macros that I hit today on the screen right now. After today, I'm going to be linearly building up my carbs again, then having 2 bigger refeed days before the shoot to carb up, fill out the frame, and get ready for some epic shots. So that's it for this video, guys. I sincerely hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to smash the like button, because it truly helps out the channel grow. Comment down below and subscribe to the channel, and turn post notifications on for so much more content coming really soon. I'm out, guys, and peace out. See you in the next one.